Okay, so today is day one of meditation. I'm going to start by saying some of the things that I'm struggling with today. I think it might be good for me to start with that every time. And I have to admit also that I do not completely have a full vision for how I want these videos to look because one, I don't want to bore you, but meditation can be boring if you're not someone that's actively participating in the moment. So I think some of the things that might be useful are for me to talk about some of the things that I need to let go of for the day and to talk about how I'm going to try to be mindful of those things so that I can be aware of them and let them go and not let those things run my day. All right, I'm going to begin. So, first of all, my biggest struggle is insecurity today because I really stuck my neck out yesterday by creating this page and everything, and I went all out. I tend to do that when I know I don't really feel I'm going to stick to something. I go big so that I can't turn back. And I decided to create the page and to start doing these videos because I'm really aware of how I have struggled with allowing myself to be honest and vulnerable to the people that I interact with every day. I'm trying to make an effort to be more genuine and to accept that the genuine part of me is worth being around. So it's not that I'm someone who's been lying all the time, but I have been wearing this coat of happiness and complacency, and I cover my social awkwardness so that I can fit in. So while I will be honest with people about what I think about things, I won't be honest with how I think about myself. I won't be honest with how I feel I actually belong in a situation. If I were to have walked around telling everybody how little I belonged, I would have never been able to fit in anywhere. So in order to get there, I had to put on the costume. And while it was incredibly painful to have that ripped off of me, I'm trying for it now. So we'll see what happens with that. The tools that I'm going to be using today, I really should be digging deeply into the practice of mindfulness, but I'm starting with what got me started on this road from the beginning, which actually took place a very, very, very long time ago, back in 2008. So in 2007, I was diagnosed with MS and I went into a deep depression. And the only way I got out was through painting and through reading this book, the Tibetan Book of the Dead. I was struggling with spirituality. I was struggling with understanding why I was here in this world. I was trying to come to terms with the pain that I had been feeling all my life and was confused as to why I was given more. I took it very personally and I was very angry at God, and a part of me became a nihilistic. And that was a big struggle for me. I'm not religious. I don't go to church, but I am very spiritual, and I know that sounds like the most generic cop out. Some people really feel that, but I was raised in a family that was very Catholic on my mom's side and Baptist on my father's side. So when I was at the Catholic Church, I wasn't good enough because my parents were divorced, and I was never good enough for my grandparents because my mom didn't take me to church for to get my first communion or confirmation. And then when I went down to Alabama to visit my dad's family, I was not welcomed in that church because I had a northern accent and I was a Yankee. And so I got kicked out in junior high from that church. I I also don't believe that religion has been particularly helpful to cultures because people do ugly things in the name of religion. So I get angry at how religion can be abused. But I do believe there is something more, something that connects us, some glue. And I have had a lot of experiences in life that have taken me there. So, anyways, I want to read this one page from this Tibetan Book of the Dead because I feel like this was the closest I could get to some form of truth after I was diagnosed, and it pulled me out of my depression. This really thick, really heavy book I read in, I think, maybe 6 days because I just needed it. Like I needed water in the desert, I needed it. So today I'm going to read a little bit of what it is that I'm doing, what it is that I'm aiming at, and why I'm aiming at mindful meditation versus something like transcendental meditation. I don't believe those things will take me to where I need to be. So, just a little bit of the book. Abandon your notions of the past without attributing to temporal sequence. Cut off your mental associations regarding the future without anticipation. Rest in spacious mobility without clinging to the thoughts of the present. Do not meditate at all, since there is nothing upon which to meditate. Instead, revelation will come through undistracted mindfulness. Since there is nothing by which you can be distracted, nakedly observe all that arises in this modality, which is without meditation, without distraction. When this experience arises, intrinsically aware, naturally cognizant, naturally radiant and clear, it is called the mind of enlightenment. Since within the mind of enlightenment there is nothing upon which to meditate, this modality transcends all objects of knowledge. Since within this mind of enlightenment there is no distractions, it is the radiance of the essence itself. It is the Buddha body of reality, union of radiance and emptiness, in which the duality of appearance and emptiness is naturally liberated, becomes manifest in this way, unattained by the structured path to Buddhahood. And thus, everything is perceived at this moment. So, the idea is this isn't the type of meditation that we are normally used to seeing and identifying. This is just being aware of what is going on in your life and in your mind and in around you and how everything exists within your mind. And acceptance and enlightenment comes from detaching yourself and perceiving what it is that is causing friction and what it is that is actually really there. It's a deep rationality is really what it is that I'm aiming for. Some kind of clarity without judgment, without anticipation, without fear. So that is what I'm going to be meditating on today. And as of today, I'm not going to put you through watching it. So that is the message I'm sending out today. Again, trying not to seem too narcissistic as if I'm someone who can teach. But this is a very good book. I hope that people will read it. It gave me deep clarity and freed me from the depression, which was actually a deep narcissism and fear of I guess what I truly deeply fear is worthlessness, uselessness. I fear that that's the truth of me a lot of times. And I know a lot of other people struggle with that too. So this is me trying to put good things out there and trying to see the good things out there and appreciate people, things, feelings, and experiences for what they actually are instead of placing my own fears and judgments on them. So have a good day. Thanks.